Many thanks for your company. The Greater Accra Regional Hospital, formerly known as the Ridge Hospital, has been officially opened to the public today. President Mahama did the official commissioning sometime in November 2016, but that part of the hospital didn't open its doors to the public until today. Speaking at the ceremony, Minister of Health Kweku Agyeman hinted President Akufo-Addo's government will secure funding soon to commence the second phase of the project. The first phase of the project is a 420-bed facility equipped with state-of-the-art equipment, and the second part is expected to add 200 more beds. Joy News' Maxwell Akwaba has been speaking to the head of the surgical department, Dr. Ralph Ama, prior to the official opening.
Here with me, Dr. Ralph Ama. He is the head of the surgical department here at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital. We're going to have a short interaction with him to find out from him what it means for the Ridge Hospital to have this particular facility and for it to be renamed the Greater Accra Regional Hospital. Doc, you're welcome to join us.
Thank you very much, and good morning to your audience. My name is Dr. Ralph. I'm head of Department of Surgery, and we're happy to have this facility, and the Department of Surgery has other units working under this department. We have general surgery, we have urology or genitourinary, we have orthopedics and trauma, we have ophthalmology, which you called eye, we have ear, nose and throat, ENT, we have pediatric surgery, surgeries on children. Then we have some other subspecialties within these units. Like for the general surgical unit, we have laparoscopic surgery. Yes, we had a laparoscopic tower in the old building, but in a new building, we have to decouple the high-tech one that we have now to be able to use it both for the laparoscopic, which is minimal access surgery, and then for endoscopy. So for us here, we are glad to have this world-class facility here that we can work with to the best of our abilities. Thank you.
Now, thanks to the documentary of one of my senior colleagues at Multimedia, St. Kwame Boateng, his documentary brought to light the conditions at the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital. Can you paint to us a picture of what you had back then in the old, surgical department, and then what you have now, so we can have a brighter appreciation of the improvements and facilities?
Well, we had our building was built in the colonial days, so it's not up to standard. But with this one, there are lots of things in there, not only looking at the bed capacity, but the sophistication of the equipment that we have there and other things that are in the ambit of the paramedicals that they would later speak to you about as you go through the tour. So for us, it's having this high-tech thing that has even allowed us to have some expatriates working with us. So that's what we have now. For general surgery, we're doing the tummy tuck, which most women will go to South Africa, India, and China to do. Where, like I'm saying, doing the laparoscopic surgery, and then the orthopedics and trauma people are looking at taking on arthroscopy. So for every unit in the surgical department, the skill was there, but the tools for working with were not there. So people are happy to move into it, and the perennial problem of no bed and the increased bed capacity would help us to be able to work well. Thank you.
You talk about sophistication and the modern technology and the ultra-modern facilities. I hear that you can now produce your own oxygen here at this facility.
Yes.
What was the case previously?
The case previously was that we used to buy oxygen or outsource it from Air Liquide and other places, but this facility, everything has been done so that we don't have much difficulty with generation of power, oxygen and water. So that's what we have. It's generally a complete hospital running all by itself. So that's what we are happy about.
Now, I want us to what this facility would mean for the average Ghanaian. I mean, people living within the immediate environs of this particular hospital. We know that people from far and near do come here. Now, this new structure, this edifice that you have here, what would it mean to the average person?
Okay, the new edifice you see here has room for everybody, from the poor to the affluent, and it's being catered for. So what we're saying is that once we are in there and working, you would have 24-hour service, and the best of expertise practice that you would get anywhere in this country in there trying to help us.
I just tried walking down to the other side, one of the wards actually, and I see some patients already moving in, a lot of them very, very excited and elated about this particular facility. I don't know what it means for you doctors as well.
Well, for us, the only problem we're envisaging is that there will be a trooping in once this reinauguration happens, and that would actually be a challenge for us because there are numbers to, yes, we have the personnel, but the doctor-to-patient ratio is too high. So what we are saying is that, yes, we are open, people will come and we'll see them, but they also have to be patient with us when we cannot see them, maybe within 5 to 10 minutes of their arrival.
We know this structure was put up sometime in 1929. Are you going to shut down this facility completely now that you have this new one?
Well, there are some conditions which we are obviously not going to move the patients in there, so we would keep it for some time till I hear the phase 2 comes into being. So it will be there to take care of some cases. Remember that this facility you see here is a central air-conditioned facility, and we cannot let people who have tuberculosis, which is an airborne disease, move in with us. So this place will be refurbished and used to house those patients till we have a permanent solution to those particular problems.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Ralph Amma. Dr. Ralph Amma is the head of the surgical department here at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, formerly.
So the official opening ended a while ago. We'll cross over to the Ridge Hospital later to pick some live updates from Maxwell Agbaba, who's still on the ground. But still, in the health sector, the Ministry of Health is asking urban poor communities to capitalize on community-based health and planning services to address their health needs. Facilities provided under the services known as CHIPS compounds are often considered rural interventions. National Coordinator of CHIPS, Barnabas Yeboah, says such misconception is a drawback. Ohiming Terry reports.
Health officials believe the CHIPS system is one of the tools to catapult Ghana to achieve universal health. Sustainable Development Goals 3 and 8 emphasize universal coverage in health. Though the CHIPS system is widely accepted after successful implementation in rural areas, many have questioned its viability in urban areas. About 6,445 CHIPS zones have been demarcated across the country. Out of the number, 4,007 are actively functioning with required human and other resources. Mr. Yeboah says the way out is for urban dwellers to accept the CHIPS concept. He indicates the primary aim is to prevent diseases. Adding more CHIPS compounds will be established to improve access to health care.
We are also considering urban CHIPS. That's why you have heard that. So we look at areas that are deprived in the urban zones. For instance, if you take like maybe the Zongo areas, slum areas where people, there are vulnerable groups there. We need to station community health officers there to help the people plan their health and take responsibility of their health. So it's not out of place, even though we are not emphasizing much on urban CHIPS, but we also think that people living within deprived urban areas also need some sort of health care.
Mr. Yeboah was speaking at a Training of Trainers workshop by the Millennium Promise Alliance and the Ghana Health Services. Over 80 community health workers from 13 districts of the Ashanti region are undergoing training in community health and electronic health programs. Millennium Promise has since last year trained about 700 community health workers and electronic health technical assistants in the region. Chief Nat Ebo Nsako is country director of 1 Million Community Health Workers campaign. He says allocation of smartphones and computers to the volunteer trainees will enhance data collection as they take health and related education to the doorsteps of local people.
So in that way, what happens is that, for instance, you go to the field and then you do malaria testing, RDTs, and then once you enter into the data, and it enters into a server, we are able to see where malaria is springing up, so that we need to target intervention to that place. So you do targeted intervention. You don't go there scouting to see what diseases prevail in this area, because that one would have been reported by the digital system that we have put in place. So
from Kumasi for Joy News, Ohimitivia reports.
Now, pressure is mounting on the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission boss, Samuel Sapong, to step aside as BNI investigations continue into alleged questionable payments at the PURC. Today, the workers say they are intensifying protests at the commission to force him out. Yesterday, Head of Public Affairs Nanaya Jantwa tendered in her resignation. She did not give reasons for her resignation, but Ms. Jantwa and her boss, Samuel Sapong, have been subject of an ongoing BNI probe following a Joy News expose on questionable payments made at the commission. Ernest Menu has more.
According to an internal memo dated 15th May 2017, Head of Public Affairs at the PRC, Nanaya Jantwa, indicated her intention to resign from the commission effective 11th November this year. She explained that prior to her resignation, she wishes to take all outstanding leave which is accruable to her as a staff of the commission starting from 4 June 2017. Extract of the memo reads, I quote, I wish to thank the Commission for giving me the opportunity to serve 13 years of my 28 years working life in the public service. Whilst on leave, I will be available anytime the Commission needs me. Unquote. Chairman of the PRC Staff Union, Jabaru Abubakar, commended her decision to step aside while the BNI continues with their probe.
She thinks that it is not just fair for her to be hanging on to her post while she has to be reporting to the BNI for investigations, or maybe reporting to the BNI mostly. So I think that is a hallmark of somebody who is bold and trying to accept that at least we've gone wrong in one way or the other.
He reiterated the union's call on the Executive Secretary of the PRC, Samuel Sapong, to step aside while he's being investigated for suspicious payments at the Commission.
Like a union, we have received it, but it's unfortunate. But our direction has been to the Executive Secretary, who we so expect that at least he should rather do an honorable and step aside.
Well, still to come here on Joy News today, Occupy Ghana says it has seen a copy of what purports to be the charge sheet in the case of the Republic versus N1 and 4 others. In a lengthy petition to the Attorney General, the pressure group Occupy Ghana worried that the immigration offences laid and filed against the accused persons do not match the severity of the act. We'll bring you details here. Please stay with us. Thank you for staying on Joy News today. Now, the Kumasi Circuit Court has freed the 8 Delta Force members accused of storming the KMA court last month to forcibly free 13 of their colleagues. Kwesi Deborah joins me on the phone with more. Hi, Kwesi. Tell us exactly what happened in court today.
Yeah, Ben, it's the Circuit Court 2 presided by Lordship Patricia Mposa freed 8 members of the Delta Force who are said to have stormed the KMA court to free 13 of the members. Now, as you can remember, when the incident occurred, they were first charged with rescuing persons in lawful custody and also resisting arrest and also disturbing court session. So the prosecution tendered a report from the Attorney General after it filed a docket of advice for the case. And according to the prosecutor, that's the ACCRA RegioNal, the police did not have enough evidence to support the charges leveled against accused persons. And this follows the advice from the AG's department, Dennis.
All right, just to clear a bit of confusion here, there's a video we are showing on our screens right now, and that video went quite viral after the incident occurred. Was this video tendered in as evidence?
Well, I spoke with a lawyer, Kankam Bodu, and also one of the lawyers that Matthew Apia. Those are the counsels for the accused. And they are saying that the videos, what you see in that footage, is not the members of the Delta Force. It's not them.
Okay.
Exactly, that's what they're saying.
Interesting. But have you been hearing from any of these freed persons, and what have they been telling you?
Well, I spoke with the chairman of the Delta Force. His name is Salu Musa, and he says it's happy the government has allowed the rule of law to take its course. But he's again happy that since the incident, that their numbers have been rising and rising. And he made an example that it has risen from 4,500 members to now 7,000 members. So they are happy with the whole ruling, and they are saying that they are happy that their members have finally been vindicated.
But Deborah, did he in any way tell you what is causing this rise in membership?
Well, I asked him, and he told me that others have gotten to know that the Delta Force is not any organization involved in any criminal activity or sort. So they think it's just the idea that people have now had for the Delta Force. That's why they are joining them. So that's what he said.
Okay, finally, before you leave, Kwesi, Deborah, any updates for us on that case involving the 13 who are alleged to have assaulted the security liaison in Kumasi?
Well, tomorrow is going to be the case. So tomorrow I'll be following, and I'll bring you updates to what happens then.
All right. Thank you very much, Kwesi, Deborah, for the updates coming to us from Kumasi. Now let's move away to another developing interesting story here. Occupy Ghana says it has seen a copy of what purports to be the charge sheet in the case of Republic versus N1 and 4 others. In a lengthy petition to the Attorney General, the pressure group Occupy Ghana worried that, quote, the immigration offences laid and filed against the accused persons do not match the severity of the act of employing or being employed illegally at a small-scale mining site, unquote. They are therefore petitioning the office of the Attorney General to call for the dockets on this matter. They are also asking them to investigate the charges laid and filed, and if found necessary, for fresh, proper, weightier and more relevant charges to be filed or added. Well, Nana Jaman Sapong is a member of Occupy Ghana, and he just joins me on the phone with some details on this matter. Hello, sir.
Yeah, hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So, in very simple terms, what exactly is Occupy Ghana's concerns?
Before I continue, I just want to make a correction. The name is Nana Sapong Ajuman Bedu.
Nana Sapong Ajuman Bedu. Thank you very much for the correction, sir.
All right. Yeah, in simple terms, we are just saying that the charges laid against these 5 Chinese Galamsey operators are pretty very much low, and if you convicted, the punishment doesn't merit the act of they being involved in small-scale mining, and which is also illegal. Because according to our law, small-scale mining is a piece of Ghanaians only, and that no foreigner should be involved in small-scale mining. And to be involved in small-scale mining, which is also illegal, should mean that, the offense is much greater than that. So we are very surprised that the only offenses leveled against these individuals were types of immigration offenses, which the punishment for being involved in such acts are not anything like that of small-scale mining.
Right, and Nana Sapong, so what for Occupy Ghana will be proper, would be a proper, weightier or more relevant charge in this case?
Charge them for being involved in illegal small-scale mining. Then we move on from there, because by our laws, if any foreigner who is arrested for being involved in small-scale mining should, while the person is convicted, will pay a fine of a maximum of 350,000 Ghana cedis, or spend 20 years, a maximum of 20 years in jail. But with this current offenses, the maximum jail sentence they can be 2 years, or pay 12,000 cedis, which we think that it's not going to serve as a deterrent enough for to keep other foreigners who are engaged in small-scale mining away from small-scale mining. So for us, we just want to see pressure and much more weightier charges being leveled against people prosecuted in court.
All right, and is Occupy Ghana also concerned about the fact that it's the Ghana Immigration Service that is handling this matter?
I won't say we're concerned about the fact that Ghana Immigration, they did the arrest. So once they did the arrest and there is law enforcement against, they can also prosecute. But we feel that once prosecution is the powers of prosecution derive from the Office of the Attorney General. Once they are prosecuting, that means they are deriving that out of the Attorney General. And if the Attorney General feels that the docket or the charge sheet are not, having the right kind of charges for this case, the Attorney General can direct that the charges should be pressure charges should be imposed on them. All
right, finally, before you leave us, no, you have asked the Attorney General to look through the charge sheet and, if found necessary, impose these weightier and more relevant charges. So if they don't find it necessary, will Occupy Ghana be still satisfied?
Because even in the current charge sheet, they did mention that these people were arrested for being involved in illegal mining in a small-scale site. So already they have actually, done some of the work for us based on how they arrested people, the basis of where they were arrested, and the work which they are doing. So it's virtually in the charge sheet that they were arrested whilst being engaged in illegal small-scale mining. So it will be a surprise to us for the Attorney General to come back and say that they are not able to conclude that these people are involved in illegal small-scale mining, while the Immigration Service themselves arrested these people on that basis. And now they are changing the charges on the basis of immigration offenses.
Mr. Sapong, is it, sorry to cut in, but is it an issue of changing the charges? The Immigration Service believes that these people have been wrongfully employed. That is true to them. Is it a case of trying to change it?
Oh, we can add additional charges to it. I mean, the fact that they were wrongfully employed is also an offense. The fact that they had reached the conditions for that is an offense. And the fact that they were involved in illegal small-scale mining is a much bigger offense. So we could have much more charges leveled against them, including these which are currently being leveled against these guys.
Very much for your time, Nana Sapong Ajuman-Bedu. He's a member of Occupy Ghana. They've actually petitioned the Attorney General on the charge sheet of a case involving the Republic and N1 and 4 others. That will bring you updates on this particular case. Away from that, the Member of Parliament for Bole, YUSIF SULEMANA, has written to the Interior Minister to set up a police post in mining communities along Ghana's border with Ivory Coast taken over by gunmen. The MP's request follows a Joy News Hotline documentary, Rebel Land, that highlighted how rebels and local gunmen are raining terror on residents of the area. Dollar Power and Accra, near the northern region town of Bole, have been the hotbed of illegal mining. In today's edition of the Joy News Agenda, Kweti Nate takes a look at what has been done after the story was first aired 3 months ago.
On 1st February 2017, Joy News reported how rebels had taken over part of northern Ghana, raining terror on residents. The report revealed how people were being killed and harassed in the hustle for gold in the towns of Accra and Dollar Power near Bole.
Someone lost their life. There were 2 people. When the rebels seized gold from someone, then they went to beg for the gold. On their way back home, they were being attacked. And 1 person died.
On the 13th of February 2017, the Minister of Interior, Ambrose Derry, directed the Inspector General of Police to investigate and act on reports that Ivorian rebels are controlling the 2 illegal mining communities in the northern region of Ghana.
Joy News is learning that the MP for the area, YUSIF SULEMANA, has written to the Interior Minister demanding the establishment of a police post in the area to curb the high incidence of crime at Dollar Park and Accra.
Let me thank Joy News for this initiative. Sometimes we have the media taking up an issue and dropping it somewhere along the line. I'm happy that you are following up to ensure that you get to the bottom of this issue. Indeed, when the story broke out, what I did was to meet with the Interior Minister as promised. And when I met with him, the decision was that I put in a request for whatever I think should be the case. So I wrote to him asking that if we could have a police post at Dollar Power, and that indeed there's some issues of insecurity there, but I think that raiding was not the way to go. And so if we could get a small police post there, it will help. So I put in a request and they responded, and so I'm still hoping that they would do what they promised to do. They promised that they're going to look into it and then solve the problem for us. I also requested that if they could add 1 or 2 vehicles to the Bole Police Command, because I realized that the district is very vast and there are so many hinterlands and so many, if you like, economic activities taking place in some of these communities. Brings about conflict, brings about insecurity, and so the police need to be in touch with some of these communities.
Kwetenate filed that report. Stay with us here for the Joy News Agenda. It's our own initiative to bring you follow-up results on stories that have been aired by reporters here at Joy News. Now, to what extent would you go to demonstrate your support to your spouse? Well, for women of Dusie in the Wa West District, in the Wa District of the Upper West region, it is rather a weird tradition that must be upheld by all wives with their bare hands. These women, disregarding the pungent smell and health implications, mix cow dung with loamy soil to plaster their houses under construction with mud and bricks by their husbands. For these women, the practice has proven to be the surest way to win the hearts of their husbands as they seek to be their helpmates. Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam visited the Rocky community and reports.
20-year-old Asibi Bayong was born and married here in this Duse community. Growing up in the outlandish community, she already was aware of her marital responsibilities. Unlike other communities in the region, where the upkeep of the family rests solely on the shoulders of the man, for Duse and other adjoining communities, the responsibility is shared by both parents. Asibi got married a couple of years to a farmer whose name she only gave as Washi. Washi molded bricks and put up this structure as their permanent abode. It comprised of a room, kitchen, bathroom, and a hen coop. The responsibility of plastering and decorating the house, however, rests solely on the shoulders of her 20-year-old wife. She has a Herculean task and onerous duty to go for cow dung from a distant kraal for the plastering of the house.
I always go to the kraal to fetch the cow dung. I mix the cow dung with water and mash it. I then add soft sand from the valley.
She has no simple tool to use for the plastering except her bare hands. She uses her hands as a trowel. Asibi has no level to keep her work plumb, nor the mason's line to check its straightness. She is aware that using cement would have made the building stronger and nicer, but due to their poverty level, they cannot afford them. Apart from the pungent smell they inhale from the cow dung, they still have many challenges they are grappling with.
You could either be kicked by the cow or bitten by a snake in your search for the cow dung. We are poor and have no option.
The blunt truth from this Rocky Chekele community is that the women love their husband. In order to win more of their heart, they need to do certain things to justify their inclusion and have a place in their heart. Maybe helping to construct a house is the one that can do the trick For them, it is not only the construction of a house that the responsibility is shared. Provision of food for the family is also shared. Whilst their husbands are responsible for the plowing of the farmlands, their women are also responsible for the planting of the seeds. After harvesting, the men sell some of the produce, leaving the rest for the upkeep of the family. ACCRA sells firewood to enable her buy ingredients to complement the efforts of her husband.
Our husband doesn't have any work apart from farming. We have to sell firewood to buy ingredients. Take the maize or millet given to us to grinding mill. I sell the firewood for 40 Ghana cedis. As for here, once the produce are brought from the farm, our husbands expect nothing from us than food on their table.
The men, on the other hand, will have wished that the status quo is changed for them to take full responsibility for the upkeep of the family. However, it is the poverty quagmire they are wallowing in which is a stumbling block. Nyadie Isaku Wayo is a teacher and an indigent of the area. Is your community ready to change with this kind of attitude where women share the responsibility?
Okay, the community is just doing their best, but it's not easy. It's not easy because it's a famine. Sometimes it's not easy to meet regularly, or even who should tell them to do it is not coming up, because it's a rural community. It's not easy over there. Most of them, I can count only one person is a retired over there. Education is not there. Because of that, most of them are just living hand to mouth.
Reporting for J News, Rafik Salam.
Very interesting local methods used in building there. You're watching Joy News today with me, Bernice. Abu Bedu Jaro Power is standing by with the latest in the world of business. Please stay with us.